This is a story about a cat called Sugar, who walked across half of the American continent to track down its former family in a state he had never before visited. Sugar was a calm-natured Persian cat who had been a much-loved pet with the Woods family throughout the years at their home in Anderson, California. Sugar was in pretty good shape, apart from a very slight deformity of his left hip, which could only be noticed whenever he was stroked or petted. Indeed, the hip problem never seemed to bother him much at all. But the years rolled by, and sometime in the 1950s, old Mr. Woods decided it was time for him to retire. His retirement plans did not just mean stopping work, though. The family moved home, too. Mr. Woods had a dream of living on a farm far to the east in Oklahoma, and had found just the place he wanted in the little town of Gage in Ellis County. The problem was, what could they do about Sugar? The Woods family really wanted their pet cat to go with them, as he was very much part of the family. But there was just one snag: Sugar hated traveling by car. Ever since they had known him, Sugar had been scared of vehicles, and yet now they were contemplating taking this beloved pet on a 1,500-mile trip by road to a new home. Would Sugar really want to go? Well, they certainly tried to take him. As the family loaded their car on the day of their departure, Sugar was put inside ready for the long trek ahead. But as the family had feared, this strong-willed had different ideas, and he jumped out of the vehicle before it had even left the drive. There was nothing else for it. The Woods family reluctantly had to leave Sugar in the care of some friendly neighbors, who said they would be pleased to offer the cat a home right next to his old one. So the Woods family set off on the long trek to Oklahoma, saddened that their little cat would not be a part of it, their new life there. It was not the end of the story, however. Nearly 14 months later, by which time Mr. and Mrs. Woods had settled comfortably into their new home, a stray cat turned up at their farm. The couple was delighted. They had not had another pet cat since Sugar, and this stray was also cream-colored. And although it was a bit skinnier, it curiously reminded them of the faithful pet they had left behind in California. So within a few days, the new cat was already part of the family and readily allowed Mrs. Woods to stroke and pet it. It was then that she made the discovery. There on its left hip was a slight deformity. There could be no doubt about it. This cat did not simply look like Sugar, it was Sugar. Quickly, the couple telephoned their old neighbors in Anderson to find out what had happened. They were told that just a few weeks after the Woods family had left California, Sugar had gone missing. The neighbors kept hoping he would turn up again, but he never did. Now, of course, they all knew why. This little cat had set off on the most incredible of journeys.